And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed. To you it shall be for food. Genesis 1:29. Man did eat angels' food. He sent them meat to the full. Psalm 78:25. Everyday Manna with Lisa.
Hi everybody, and welcome to Everyday Manna. On today's program, we're going to be making just the typical summer meal. We're going to be making roasted corn on the cob that we're going to do in the oven. We're going to do a pasta salad, which is one of my all-time favorite salads. And then we're going to have Italian grilled chicken. Now the first thing that we want to do is get I have brought a pot of water to a boil, so I'm going to go ahead and salt that and put the spaghetti in there, just the spaghetti noodles. Always salt your water before you put your pasta in there. And I'm just using today just regular spaghetti noodles that everybody has. I break mine in half for this recipe because I want a shorter bite-size noodle when it's done. You could use the thin spaghetti, the angel hair, you could use penne pasta. You really could use any kind of pasta that you wanted in this dish. You could use macaroni if you wanted to. I just have always made it with spaghetti. I just like the way that it does better with spaghetti. So we want to put that in our water. We'll turn that down just a little bit because I find that if you leave it on high, it boils over. So we just want to cook our spaghetti noodles until they're done, and then we're going to drain them. And we actually, in this recipe, you rinse the noodle to remove the starch before you put the pasta ingredients in there. So let's put the lid back on, bring that back up to a boil, and then we'll just let that cook away for a few minutes. Now my oven is preheated to 400 degrees, and we're going to be making just roasted corn on the cob. Corn on the cob is one of those things, when it's in season, I eat it all the time. But I get tired of just the same old boiled corn. And so this particular recipe is just delicious. So I've just got some sheets of aluminum foil. I have a baking sheet, and I'll show you what to do. I bought the corn in the shuck, and I just went ahead and shucked it and cleaned it before we joined you. And that's all I've done is just cleaned the corn. Now, you want to take a little bit of butter, say about, I don't know, a tablespoon or so per ear, and you just kind of want to slather it on one side. It's going to melt, down all over the corn, so it's fine. It'll be fine just to put it on one side of the corn. We're going to sprinkle it with just a little bit of sugar, not salt, but sugar. We're going to salt it too. Just a little bit of salt. The first thing I did was sugar. That is salt. And then some freshly ground pepper over the top. And then it just, as the oven heats the butter, it just kind of melts, and it'll go all over that ear of corn. And then just roll it up in the foil, seal your ends, and put it in just a regular baking sheet. Here, we'll do another one. About a tablespoon or so of butter. I use real butter. You could use margarine if you wanted to. It would be fine. I like the flavor of real butter. I think I'll add a little bit more to that one. I love corn. And then just a little sprinkling of sugar. Not much, just a little bit. A little bit of salt. And some freshly ground pepper. Sue, that works here with us, this is actually her recipe, and she made it for us one day. We tend to cook a lot. Here, my water's boiling, so let me take the lid off. We cook a lot up here at the studios, even when we're not doing this program, and she made it one day, and I just loved it. And so I asked her, I said, Sue, can I borrow your recipe? And she said, sure. So this is her recipe, but it is very, very good. And the heat of the oven just roasts it. And if you had a grill going outside, maybe you were grilling some burgers or some steaks or chicken or whatever you had on your grill, this would be delicious. Just take those packets, make sure you seal them up really, really good on a grill, and then just put them outside on your grill. Would be yummy, would be really yummy. A little bit of sugar. I'm going to do 6 ears of corn today. You do however many that your family likes. a little bit of pepper. I love it in the summertime when the vegetables come into season and you can get good fresh vegetables and you know, you can get some things year-round, but things like corn, and I think personally tomatoes just, you know, in the summertime when they are in season, taste spectacular. And I'm one of those that when the vegetables come into season, I really don't want a lot of meat. I love the vegetables. The other evening, I stopped at my favorite little produce market. I have this one out near my mother's house that they just have the best produce. And I stopped there the other night and they had some fresh beets, you know, fresh raw beets that you can buy. And I took those home and I roasted them in the oven, and we're going to make that together one day. And I had some fresh green beans with the little new potatoes, and I was just a happy camper because in the summer, like I said, when the vegetables are fresh and they're in season, I don't think you can beat them. I just love the taste of just the fresh vegetables. You don't need a lot of meat, but if you wanted to do some, you know, grilled ribs or something with this. Today we're going to do Italian chicken. That would be delicious. Ribs, I love ribs. We'll do those again another day. But good grilled food. I love to cook outside, and this is one of those recipes. All of this, with the exception of the pasta salad, you could do on a grill outside if you wanted to. The pasta salad, of course, you would have to do inside, but you could make it ahead of time and put it in the refrigerator, because actually it is better if you make it ahead and you let it set, you know, for a day. It tastes spectacular. The longer it sits, the more it marinates, the better it is. So it's one of those do-ahead things if you're going to have a cookout. And the rest of this you could do outside on your grill. It would be delicious. So this is our last corn. We're just going to get him in the oven, and then we're going to start chopping our vegetables. So let's get our pile of corn on the cob in the oven. My oven is set to 400 degrees, and I'm just going to let it cook away. Let me wipe off my board here. Now, my pasta is cooking. Let's check it, make sure it's not sticking together. A couple of rules with pasta is big pot, lots of water, give it room to move in there, and make sure that you salt your water when you put your pasta in there, because it really flavors up the pasta nicely. Although this salad is very highly seasoned, this is really the only point you get to season your pasta in any pasta dish. Let's get our butter out of the way. Now, all I've done ahead of time was I bought some boneless, skinless chicken breasts that you get anywhere, and bottled Italian dressing, whatever kind of Italian that you like. I like the zesty Italian, so that's what I used today. I bought the fat-free kind, and all I did was put my boneless, skinless chicken breasts in a Ziploc bag with Italian dressing, and I'm just letting it marinate, letting it sit for just a few minutes before we cook it. You could do this the night before, or just, you know, even 30 minutes really makes a big difference in how the chicken will taste. So that's all we've done before. I got to take a quick break. When I come back, we're going to chop the vegetables and get going on our pasta salad and get our chicken in the skillet. I'll be right back in just a minute. Hey, and welcome back. Now, our pasta's boiling away, our corn is in the oven, and we're going to get a big pan preheating on my skillet, or on my stove. I'm going to add some extra virgin olive oil just to kind of coat the bottom. And my chicken has been marinating for, I don't know, probably about 20, 25 minutes or so. And like I said, this is just boneless, skinless chicken breasts that I bought. I did nothing to them other than take them out of the pan and put some bottled Italian dressing on there. I'm using the fat-free, but you could use whatever kind of Italian dressing that you like. This is a good do-ahead thing. Do this the night before would be fine. absolutely fine. So let's get our skillet. Let's see if we're hot here. You want to make sure that your pan is hot. I think we need just a minute more. I'm not touching it. If you just hold your hand over, you can feel the heat coming from the bottom. And then you just want to take your chicken breasts, and I always marinate in a Ziploc bag. That way I'm not, I'm not dirtying up a dish. Number one, there's no risk of cross-contamination. Make sure anything that you touch with your raw meat gets thrown away or changed, because, chicken will cross-contaminate, so be very, very careful with that. We're just placing this in a skillet. Like I said, if you wanted to do this outdoors, it would be delicious, cooked outside. And I believe probably 4. My skillet wants to. Let's see if we can get one more in there. About 5 is about all I'm going to get in there. You don't want to overcrowd your meat, because if you do, it will steam instead of fry, and that is not what you want. So we'll just put this, and you could drain off some of that excess marinade. If you have any, left over, you could freeze the chicken, and you could use it another day. It would be fine. Now, let's get moving. My hands did not touch the chicken. Make sure anything that touches your raw chicken that you wash and sanitize immediately, because you do not want to deal with the cross-contamination of raw poultry. I'm going to just salt this just a little bit, my chicken, and I'm going to put some freshly ground pepper on that side. Let's check our pasta, and let's chop our vegetables. See how we're doing here. There's all kinds of methods of testing pasta. I just taste. I think your mouth is the best one. And that's done. So what we need to do is rinse this and then drain it and rinse it with cold water to make sure that you get all the starch off the pasta. But let's get chopping away. I've got a big bowl, and I bought at the store today, I'm cheating, I'm just using the pre-shredded up carrots that you buy in the store. If you want to use carrots and shred them yourself, you can do that, but I'm cheating and using the other. Then we're going to just put those in a bowl. I'm going to use 1 cucumber, and we're just going to, I cleaned it, and I like the skin on mine because I've made sure that it's clean. If you want to remove the skin, then you can. That's fine too. I'm just going to cut it into small pieces with my knife, just little chunks. If you, like I said, if you want to peel yours, you can. That's fine. I just prefer to peel on my cucumbers unless, they've got that real heavy waxy coating, which this one doesn't. So that's why. Let's put this in the bowl. And our cucumber, we're going to just finish chopping. And we're going to add that to our carrots. Now, this is one of those recipes. I do a lot of this, and I know I say it a lot, but it's true. Maybe my sister, for instance, can't eat cucumbers. So if I'm making this for her, I'm not going to put the cucumbers in. If you don't like, or maybe you can't eat one of the vegetables that I'm using, substitute whatever kind of vegetable that you like. Celery is delicious in this. I use carrots, and I like radishes. I'm getting ready to show you those. Maybe you don't like radishes. If you don't, then leave them out. Put whatever kind of vegetables that you like the flavor of raw, because they're not going to be cooked. If you like it raw, by all means put it in this salad. Maybe you like tomatoes. You could use those little grape tomatoes. Chop those in half and put them in here. It would be delicious. I like radishes, so I'm going to put radishes in mine. I just bought a bunch at the store, and I've already trimmed them and washed them. I'm just cutting them in half, and I'm just going to chop them up in my little mini food processor. And if you don't have one of these, put this on your wish list because I'm telling you, this little mini food chopper is one of the handiest little tools in your kitchen when you want to chop something like an onion or, you know, in this case, my radishes. Maybe onions make you cry. This would be the great little tool to chop your onions in to where it won't make you cry. They don't bother me, but some people they do. And then just put your lid on there. It's noisy, bear with me. Let it stop every second or two. And instantly, let me show you, instantly you've got these little finely chopped radishes. And so it works perfect. Be careful with the blade. I'm going to chop up those other 2 or 3 little radishes here. I can probably just put those in whole. They're little. Oops, let me get my lid on there. I got it on crooked, guys. Lock it in there and chop away. And there you go. Instant, quick, delicious little radishes. Put those in your bowl with your vegetables. Let me get a spoon or a little, this little job works perfectly for that. And get those out of there. My chicken is just cooking away. I'm going to turn it in just a second. You just really want to brown it is what you're doing. Let's get our radishes out. Yum, it smells so good. See that, how pretty that looks already? Now, what I'm going to do is mix these up, show you. These are all the vegetables that I'm putting in. No, I'm not. I forgot one of my favorite little parts. I got one radish there that didn't chop up too fine. A red bell pepper. We're going to add that too here. Let me check my chicken. Nope, not ready yet. I want it brown on the bottom. Oh, that one's sticking away here. Let's get them checked. Let's let these cook for just a minute more and then we'll flip them. I've got a red bell pepper. I'm just going to chop away. I got to take another break. When I come back, we're going to make the dressing for this salad and wrap this meal up. I'll be right back in just a minute. And welcome back. Now we're just going to chop our red pepper. Over the break, all I did was drain the spaghetti noodles, rinse them with cold water, and add them to my bowl. And I had to switch to a different bowl because my bowl wasn't big enough. This is one of those things that I always make a full recipe of and keep it in my refrigerator. And I will eat it myself in a matter of 2 days. This is one of those things, I made some about, I don't know, 3 weeks ago at home. And I'm the only one that eats it at home. And I found myself at 11 o'clock at night craving it. I just went to the refrigerator late at night and ate it. So it was gone in like 2 days' time. So my mother really likes this too, so I'll make it sometimes for her. But this is just a red bell pepper that I'm chopping up, and I'm going to add to it. And then we're going to make the dressing. And we're just going to kind of let it hang out. Our chicken is cooking away. Looks and smells delicious. Can't wait to eat that. Always chop your bell peppers from the inside of the flesh out to the skin, because the skin is hard to cut through. If you turn it over, if you can see with this one, if you turn it over this way and try to cut through that skin, even with this sharp knife, you see how much more difficult that is than that right there? So always cut your bell peppers from the inside of the skin out. That's just a little piece of information for you. Makes it much easier. Now, our dressing. All the grocery stores out there have this dried Italian seasoning mix that you can buy. That's what we're going to use for this. but I mix up the ratio a little bit. I like my vinaigrettes to be kind of tangy, a little more than the oily. I do my ratio on my vinaigrettes backwards from most people. Most people say 3 parts oil to 1 part vinegar. I kind of do 3 parts vinegar to 1 part oil because I like that tang. And with this particular dressing, I use the rice vinegar that you've seen me use so many times before. And I'm going to add probably about, I would say, 3/4 of a cup of vinegar. Because number one, it cuts down on the oil and the fat. It's much healthier. So I'm going to use about 3/4 of a cup of just rice vinegar. You could use white vinegar, you could use cider vinegar, you could use the red wine vinegar, white wine vinegar, whatever kind of vinegar that you like. I just love the rice vinegar because it's mild. It's not sharp. When you think vinegar, you think of a sharp, you know, really tangy kind of. The rice vinegar is not like that. And you can find it now in the grocery stores. I used to have to go to this little Oriental market that I shop at and get the vinegar. And I still do go there, and I buy it by the case because I use a lot of it. But you can get it now in any grocery store out there in the Asian section where they sell, you know, the soy sauces and the water chestnuts and that kind of thing. In that section, every store that I've been in has rice vinegar. You can get it seasoned or unseasoned. I buy this seasoned. It has just a little tiny touch of sugar in it, but if you can only find the unseasoned, that's fine. Just add a pinch of sugar and you'll be fine. So I've got about 3/4 of a cup of just the rice vinegar that I like, and I'm going to add probably about, I don't know, 1/3 of a cup, maybe even up to say 1/2 a cup of oil because I have a lot of pasta here and it's going to really absorb all of this dressing. Then I'm adding 1 package of the dry Italian seasoned mix that you can get anywhere. Put the lid on. You even get this little shaker in some of them. I just keep mine. I use it over and over and over again for different things. Make sure you got the lid on there because we're going to shake it up. I can't get the lid on there. Come on, there you go. Make sure you got your lid on good, and then just shake, 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 shake. And it just kind of blends together. As you can see, it just comes together just like that. Just keep shaking. Pour every single bit of this over this salad because between the pasta and the vegetables, it is going to soak it up. I promise you, you will need every single bit of that dressing. This makes a lot of pasta salad. Don't be scared thinking, oh my goodness, that's a lot of fat and calories you're adding. It is, but it makes a lot of pasta salad. And unless you're me, probably last you a while. I just love it. This is my favorite salad. This is my favorite. I make it year round, but in the summertime when I can get good garden cucumbers out of my mom's garden and I can get just the delicious vegetables, I make it all the time in the summertime. It's good for you. It's, you know, yes, you're eating carbohydrates, but you're eating lots of good veggies. And it's just delicious. Now, this is my secret ingredient. This is, I can't tell you the brand, but in the spice section of all of the grocery stores out there, you will see this. It's called Salad Seasoning Mix. Different brands, you know, it's readily available in all the stores with your spice section. It's called Salad Seasoning Mix, and it's delicious. It's got Parmesan cheese in there. It has a little bit of poppy seeds. It has some sesame seeds and different herbs and spices. It's wonderful. I have about probably 4 tablespoons or so in this bowl, and I'm going to use it all. You use much that you like. Try a little bit. I promise you probably want to add more. As a matter of fact, I probably am going to add some more. Toss it in with your salad. Now, doesn't that look delicious and healthy? And now really, for me, this right here makes a perfect summer evening meal because you're getting, you know, you're getting your salad, you're getting your vegetables, you're getting your, you know, your pasta in there. And to me, this is just a perfect summer meal in and of itself. But we're going to add a piece of chicken and some corn with it, and it will make it just, it's delicious. I promise you, you have to try this recipe. And you can customize it how you like it with different vegetables. Put whatever you like on there. I'm going to put a little bit on my serving plate here. And I'm just going to add some of the beautiful veggies on top. Isn't that pretty? And isn't that good? I want to eat it right now. I don't want to wait. So there's our wonderful summer pasta salad. You absolutely could make this ahead of time. You might want to make a little bit of dressing if you were making it like a day ahead and add, some the day you were serving it. The longer it sits, the better it is. Our chicken is done. Let's check our corn. Okay, now we got our chicken. Our chicken is done. It's in the pan. All we did was saute it on both sides in just extra virgin olive oil. And I took a piece out and I sliced it for us here. Look how moist and tender. I snuck a bite. It is yummy. And our corn is done. Let's get one of those out. Be careful. It's very, very, very hot. Unwrap your little bundle of deliciousness here. And look how pretty and good that looks. And let's put our corn on our plate. I cannot wait to eat this. Let's pour that delicious juice, the butter, melted butter over there. Don't waste that butter. And there you go. There is the perfect summertime evening meal. You've got your wonderful pasta salad, our corn that we roasted in the oven, and our grilled Italian chicken. I hope you try these recipes, and I'll see you next time on Everyday Manna.
Thank you for watching Everyday Manna with Lisa. This program is made possible by viewers like you. Your support is continually needed to keep Christian programming on the air. Please send your best financial gift to Living Faith Television in care of Everyday Manna, P.O. Box 1867, Abingdon, Virginia 24212.